So, what's your name?
My name's Penny.
Hello, Penny.
Hello.
I'm Roger. It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Tell me a little bit about your last week in active addiction.
I was living in Bluegrass, Virginia. I was,
That's probably the most appropriately named city
yeah, they
area
didn't have
for
a store.
Kentucky.
They had a mercantile store.
Of course they did.
Yeah, it looked like the Civil War. I was alone. Didn't know anybody there, and stayed locked up in this bedroom that I stayed in for, well, up until the day they came and knocked on the door and arrested me and took me to jail.
Wow. What kind of dope were you doing?
Meth.
Exclusively?
Yeah, at that. Yeah.
Wow. How'd you find yourself in Bluegrass, Kentucky?
Virginia, Bluegrass,
Virginia. Okay.
Yeah. My deceased husband's best friend had contacted me. His wife had died. My husband had died. We kept in touch. I didn't want to be here anymore, and so I wanted to get away. And he's like, "Well, I live in Bluegrass, Virginia," and I was like, "Well, hey, that is definitely not Kingsport, Tennessee." So I went down there with him. We were down there about a month, and he got arrested and went to jail. So that I was there completely by myself, not knowing anybody. And then a month later, they came and got me.
Wow. What, for charges that were in Virginia or Tennessee?
They came in and raided the house, and Bluegrass don't have a paraphernalia law. And they found a little homemade water bubbler and no dope, no nothing, but that with no paraphernalia law, they got me with possession of methamphetamines.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, not nice. Not at all.
So, what happened?
They took him, arrested him, but they waited and sent that off to the lab to see if it had anything. When the labs came back with meth, they came and arrested me for possession also because we shared the room.
Oh, okay.
So they charged both of us with it. And I went in and stayed there for 7 months, and then Sullivan County came and got me on a violation.
Well, how long were you in Sullivan County?
6 months after that.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
So, what happens when you're going to get out?
Well, when I get to Sullivan County, I'm like, I'm not. If they let me out, I'm gonna go right back to the same place I was on the streets, getting high, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm 50 years old. I'm too old to do that. So I went to my lawyer and I told him, I said, all these girls keep talking about programs or rehab or something. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get my life back because I was a nurse before all this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how long were you effectively living that way before you?
My husband died in 2016, and I went and started living on the streets in 2017.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, that was like a big.
It destroyed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry that happened.
It's okay.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Wow. So, when you're talking to your attorney about programs and stuff, what does they say?
This is funny now that you asked that. He says, "Well, if you ask for recovery court, be prepared that the judge is going to ask you where you get your dope from." And I'm like, "Nope, not going to happen." Is there something else we can do? Because I'm not doing that. And he said, "Well," and he set me up with the most wonderful woman in the whole wide world other than Tia Hughes, and that is Kara Murphy.
Okay. And what did Miss Kara do?
She is the forensic discharge social worker for the
Sullivan County?
Sullivan County.
Okay.
Yes, and she loves Tia, and that's how that ball went rolling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, after, what, you said 7 months or 6 months?
6 months.
At Sullivan County. You go through court, they signed your, I guess, deal or whatever, and then you're, like, given release to...
Kara.
Okay.
Kara picks me up that morning and takes me to Knoxville, to the Gateway, to catch a bus to go to Buffalo Valley in Hole in the Wall, Tennessee.
Oh, I've been there.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I was there in 2006, so I'm sure it's changed.
No.
Well, again,
Cindy
now
is
that
the
I think
best.
about it.
I love Cindy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you had like a okay stay there.
Oh, I loved it. It was amazing. Yeah.
And so you get a ride back and show up at Bridge to Shore.
I get her. Okay, they released me on February the 28th. Okay, Kara Murphy's out of town. She's supposed to pick me up and bring me to Bridge. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm ready to get this ball started. And I kind of like hang out with the bikers, and so I call one of my biker friends, and they send their wife to come and pick me up, and she comes and picks me up and brings me to Bridge. And come to find out, I wasn't supposed to be at Bridge for 2 days, so I showed up at Tia's doorstep early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that whole process for you? Like, you seem like you were in a position of like readiness to do something different.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a malleable
Yes.
version of Penny shows up.
Yeah. I knew what a normal life was like. I mean, I was a nurse. I had the perfect, I guess, family, the husband, the 3 kids, the white picket fence. I had all that. He got took or got killed or was in a wreck, and I didn't want to live anymore. So I just, went balls to the wall, and I decided that, obviously I'm not going to die. I mean, God's got me here for a reason, so why not start doing what normal people do and living life. I've lived on the streets for 8 years. I was tired of doing that. I wanted to have a house back. I wanted to have a job. I wanted to have a car, so I knew the only way I was going to be able to do that is the resources that are out there.
And so, like, when you're showing up and you're going through Bridge and you're working steps and being a part of a community, what do you feel like was the most impactful thing that had happened to you within that being part of Recovery Bridge to Shore?
So many things.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so many things.
What about maybe the most, for lack of a better word, magical thing that happened for you?
Loving myself again.
How did you find that out?
All the girls around me loving me. I mean, and look at me, face tattoos, dreads, I mean.
But I'm with that. That's like,
I know, but everybody, and it's a funny story real quick. I went and seen a psychiatrist, and he's like, why did you do the face tattoos? And I was like, because I just didn't want people to approach me. I wanted to be left alone, and I figured, people are not going to approach me looking like this. And it's true, they don't. But then if I open my mouth, it's like they don't see this anymore. So, and the girls just, welcomed me with open arms and didn't judge me and had the same kind of, not life, so say, but experiences that I had.
Yeah.
And it might not have been the exact same experience, but the same feelings and the same, And I was scared of love. When my husband got killed, I didn't want to love again. That was the worst pain ever, and I didn't want to love again. And I love now more than anything in the world. I welcome it now.
There's a certain vulnerability it takes to love, like to fully
love. Yes,
because you have to.
I had a lot of hate in my heart.
What towards?
Anything and everybody, and just God. I mean, when my husband, wasn't here no more, I hated everything. I hated myself. I hated life. I hated the dirt. Everything. I hated it.
How did that like manifest itself?
What do you mean?
How did the hate manifest itself in your life?
Well, when he got killed, because I had this perfect life, nurse, not perfect, but perfect compared to what I just came from.
Yeah.
And it was took from me, so I was just so mad. And I was so mad that my kids, don't get me wrong, I didn't hate my kids, but I didn't want to think about who cares what it does to them. I was selfish, but yeah, I hated God and it wasn't him that took him away, but that's the first thing you go to.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just hated God for me making the choices that I made.
And then that just kind of starts this descent into madness.
Oh God, yes, does it ever? Yeah. I walked in one day and packed a bag and went and lived on the streets and didn't know nothing about street life. I was too chicken to kill myself, but I thought, hey, put her out there, they'll kill me in a week. I begged them, they didn't do it. Yeah.
I can't imagine the, I don't know, it's like your outside world, you just had to find a way to match what was going on with the inside parts of you. And it's like, this thing that, this weird relationship that when one gets flares up or is mean or aggressive, that the other one is going to match it or exceed it in some way. So I can't imagine the level of just like, I don't know, raw sadness
Yeah.
that you were coming up against.
My heartbroken. Everybody's like, "Oh, heartbroken." No, your heart can actually be broken. When he died, it hurt on the outside of my chest, a pain that is indescribable.
So what do you do with that today?
I actually, I never grieved properly, so I'm still new at all these feelings coming back, but it has taught me that no matter what's out there, it's worth living. I mean, life is beautiful. And there's bad things that's going to happen, but it's still beautiful. And the people that like I come in contact with, or I get to experience all this with, and just the little sentence, "Oh, you make a difference. You're the reason why," or "You inspired me," is so much better of a high than any drug will ever be. So I hope that I can change at least one person's life.
Yeah. I imagine that you're adding in more today than you're taking out. What's your favorite thing about your life today?
Being able to love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little strange? It's like a few
Yeah.
years ago, it was like, nope, never again.
Never again. And I love people now. It's crazy.
It's like in some way, I think as humans we're built to love and then to want to be loved,
Yeah.
and you, for whatever reason, psychologically, emotionally, whatever, maybe protecting wise and pain, but shut yourself off from that for so long, and then you get to arrive in a place where you are loved and you get to love.
Yeah.
So I could imagine that that's very like.
And the love from the sober community is genuine love.
Oh, yeah.
Always looking for that special love. I found that special love in the sober community. It's so genuine. I mean, they really mean it.
Yeah.
And they don't want nothing back,
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
I think we're the best bunch of people there is. But
And
that's
also,
just my opinion.
yeah, the best and worst of like,
Yeah.
like
It goes with that love-hate thing, right?
yeah, a bunch of like narcissistic, terminally immature,
Yes.
altruistic,
Real
you're real,
motherfuckers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a certain quality that life takes on once you've knowingly or unknowingly, but attempted to like self-destruct in some way, and then you arise from that, or you get to live,
Yeah.
be revived from it. There's a certain, I don't know, perception that we take on from life that just, I guess it truly is something like there's some recovery literature out there that a lot of people know, but it talks about where like, passengers that have escaped a wrecking ship in that
Yeah.
way, and I think that there is a lot of truth to that, and I love seeing it because I, like you, there's just so many people within the recovery community that it's just like, God, it's like family.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I'm so glad that you made it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
I'm glad
shout
to be
out
here.
Bluegrass, Virginia.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
It's pretty painless.